guys, it's Harleywood. Several weeks ago I posted a picture of this on my Instagram page and asked you guys if you were interested in me reviewing it. It is a dash cam. Several people responded that they were interested, and I even had a few directly message me and say, yes, please, I've been considering one of these, I drive in a crazy area, or I always see crazy stuff, or I want one just in case. I kind of wanted this for all of the above. I work in downtown Atlanta. I drive about 30 miles from a suburb of Atlanta. Each way is 30 miles, and I get to see a lot of crazy stuff on the interstate almost on a daily basis. So this is a just in case. This costs $50, and historically these have been pretty price prohibitive. You know, a good one would run you anywhere from $100 to $250. Yi's action camera, that's very similar to this, runs in the $250 range. This one incorporates a lot of the same great technology. It does shoot in very high resolutions, which I'll go through in a minute. It comes with a few accessories, and I have the cable actually mounted in the truck right now. When I take the camera off here, I'll take you over to the truck and show you kind of how I've got this set up. But first, let's go through some of the settings on the camera. Alright, so this does have an internal battery. That internal battery, when fully charged, will last for about 15 minutes. Just to make sure it doesn't shut off on me during this review, I'm going to go ahead and keep it plugged in. Now, in the event you wanted to take this out of your vehicle, show a police officer, you know, whatever had happened, you do have that battery setting there. Now, the battery on this charges every time you have it plugged in. I don't have a tremendous amount of charge on it right now, so just in case, we're going to run it plugged in. So to get to the menu, we're going to hit the menu button here. And to cycle through the menu items, you simply hit either the left or right arrow. So here's the microphone on and off. Here is the G sensor. This has a mode where if it feels a sudden impact, it will start an emergency recording, which you actually just saw a minute ago because I kind of jerked the device a little bit. So in this area right here, you can set the sensitivity of that. This is whether you want to keep the LCD on or off while you're driving. This is a driver assistance feature, and I think you have to calibrate it, which I haven't done, so I have it turned off right now, but basically it helps you stay within your lanes. So if your vehicle, if it starts to notice that you're swerving and coming close to lanes, it makes a little alert. Again, I haven't calibrated it, and I turned it on briefly one time and it kept notifying me incorrectly because I wasn't swerving. So I went ahead and turned it back off. It's not anything I'd probably ever really use. This is the Wi-Fi mode. It puts out its own little Wi-Fi signal so that you can connect to it with your smartphone app. This is to format the SD card. This is a factory reset. Set the date and time. Standby clock display on or off. Right now I have it off, so if you're driving and you want just a standby clock, you can set that to be on or off here. Here's where you turn the sounds on or off. Here's where the button sounds are on and off, like you hear as I'm cycling through. This is a driving report. At the end of every drive, it puts a little thing on the screen, and it actually tells you how many times you did a hard brake or hard acceleration. It kind of just gives you a little rundown. And this is just some about stuff. So let's go back to page 1. I'm not going to go through all of these. Most of them are pretty, self-explanatory, and most of them just have it on or off. If you want to change one of them, you can see here in the resolution I have it set to 180. Here's where you change the resolutions. So I leave it on the 180. But again, all of these settings are also on the app. Let me get my phone out and show you that. Here is the Yi Dashcam app. If we launch the app, it has a feature here that has a lot of videos about using both the app and the device. If I go into the record section here, I'm going to hit connect. It's going to connect via Wi-Fi. Actually, it's been a while since I've had this connected. Let's go in and just make sure it's connected. There it is, the Yi car cam. I've already put in the password, so it should remember it. There we go, it's connecting. And there, you can see there's a little bit of a delay. but you can see that I'm actually looking through that camera right at the moment. Alright, you can take a picture. Let's go into the SD card. So this is the internal memory on the actual device, and it's going to show you every event that you have. You can click into any of these. And I have the mic turned off on the camera, so this is not going to have sound. If you turned yours on, you would. But here you can see every time you're driving, this turns on as long as you plug it into a power source that turns on when the vehicle turns on and turns off when the vehicle turns off. Let's back out. You can completely administer the frames, or excuse me, the videos here. So if I wanted to throw this particular clip away, just hit trash, hit delete, and it'll throw it away. Now, if you wanted to download it to your phone, select the one that you want, hit download. It's going to ask you if you want high def or standard def. Choose the one you want, and it'll download it to your camera roll. So you'll see some of these have this little icon here. I mentioned before that it has that shock sensor in there. If you're in an impact, it will automatically start to keep a emergency recording. Now, this records in a loop. Every time this thing is recording, it will fill up the memory card, and then it will go back to the beginning and start deleting the earlier clips and then working its way back up. So it saves 3-minute clips, and literally, I mean, you can see how many I have in here. And this is a 64 gigabyte card. It literally has probably a couple hundred clips. I don't even know. But again, if you have one of those impacts, it saves one of these, and it will not overwrite it when it goes back to the beginning and starts reading again. So if you want to manually delete one of these, you would have to do it here in the app. You cannot do it on the device. You have to do it in the app. Now let's talk a little bit about these. I mentioned there's those sensitivity settings. I have mine set to high sensitivity, and I was a little bit concerned that with potholes and things like that, it may be, capturing these little emergency recordings all the time. That has not been the case. It has not done that. Let's get out of here, and I want to also show you. Well, before I get out of here, let's go into the settings. So in here, it has instructions, the manuals, a forum, FAQs, about, but the important thing here is your dash cam settings. Everything I took you through on the menu here is also in here. So here you see you can turn the microphone on and off, the video quality, that collision sensitivity, the timestamp, their logo watermark. Here's that intelligent driving assistant that I don't use. So standby clock, power on and off, the button sounds, all that stuff. You can even format the SD card right from here or set it back to its factory defaults. Now let's talk a minute. Let's get out of here so that it unlocks the phone, or excuse me, the camera. Let's say you're driving and something happens and you want to manually capture one of those emergency recordings. All you have to do is reach up and hit this record button, and you'll see that little countdown there. Now it captures 20-second clips. When it starts recording, it actually keeps the previous 10 seconds and records an additional 10 seconds. So if you're in an accident and the G sensor registers something, it's going to keep the 10 seconds that led up to that registration. It's also going to keep the 10 seconds after that event happened. So same thing here. If there's an impact, watch. Nope, I think because it just got done recording. There you go. So I just sent it into an emergency recording because I hit it. It's going to save a little 10-second clip before and after that impact. Okay, so in just a second, I'm going to take this in the truck and show you how I have it set up. I mentioned earlier, this is the window mount that it comes with. This is actually an incredibly strong adhesive. I put it up. I didn't like where I had it. I ended up buying a suction cup version that I can move around. I wasn't quite sure that I liked it where I had this, and it took a lot of force to get this off. My initial concern was that I was going to stick this up here and the camera was going to keep falling off the windshield. I guarantee you, if you prep that surface properly, just get an alcohol wipe, prep that surface, this thing will not fall off. I also used these little adhesive clips, and I'll show you why here in a minute, but it's basically to where I ran the wiring up at the top front edge of the windshield. These allowed me to clip it in place up against the window. I'll post a link in the description below where to get this, as well as the suction cup mount that I chose instead of this one. let's go to the truck and show you how I have it set up. Alright, so let's get this mounted back up. On the top is a slot that interfaces with this right here, and there's a little clip that locks it in place. And there we go. So whenever this has power to it, it is running. You can turn it off if you want to. Again, you can also turn the mic on and off. All of those settings are very easy to do. The memory card slot is right here on the side. It takes a micro SD card up to 64 gigabyte, and I believe it has to be a U10. I'll post a link in the description below where to get that also. Here you can see the suction cup mount that I have. It has a little toggle on the top here to activate the suction cup, and this allows me to move it around a little bit more. I had the other one. Now this is quite a bit bigger than the one that comes that just sticks to the window. I had that other one mounted up higher, but it put the camera lens going right through this crack I have in my windshield, so I wanted to get it down below that, and this one served that purpose. Let me go ahead and reposition the camera, and I'm going to show you how I've run this wiring. Okay, so the wiring goes right up here, and I mentioned these clips that I had bought. I stuck these clips, you can just see one right here. I know it's kind of hard to see on camera, but I stuck them right where that black is, ran it around here, brought it inside my A-pillar, and I actually tucked it back behind all of this, ran it all the way down here. It's actually behind this kick panel. Here you can see the cord's actually right there. I ran it up under the dash, zip tied it, took it back up under the center console, brought the cable out right here, and here is the cigarette lighter adapter. So I don't have a cable, you know, hanging through the center right here or anything goofy like that. It's very, very compact, and I was actually impressed that the cigarette adapter that they give you is a very low profile one. I'm going to be honest, I had another camera that I tried to use, and it had one of those big really long ones that you plug in, and I mean, it was huge. It stuck out like, you know, out to here, stuck out really far. And I said, well, I don't like that thing, so I clipped the cable and I was going to try to hardwire it in, and I ended up frying the device, but I'm much happier with this unit. So I'm going to roll in some footage here just to show you the recording quality. Now, I'm not uploading this video to YouTube in 4K or, you know, anything super high resolution, so if it's not super clear in whatever mode you're watching it in, that's not the camera, that is the format that I chose to upload it in, or YouTube's resampling. But just know that this does record in pretty high resolution. I went through them there with you so you could see them. And it's pretty impressive also that it has a 165-degree wide angle. So when I'm driving, it almost fills up even my peripheral vision. Like literally, as soon as something passes your A-pillar on the left or the right side of your vehicle, it pretty much comes into the field of view on this camera. It's pretty impressive. Let me go ahead and roll in some daytime, nighttime, and, you know, some various footage, just real briefly to show you the quality level, and then we'll wrap it up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Can't wait to taste it on your lips in the night with a kiss. We do it like this.
So that's it, guys. The Yi dash cam, $50. I'm going to post a link in the description below where you can get the camera, the memory card that I have, You can also do a 32 gig if you don't want the 64. These little clips, as well as the suction cup mount that I showed you in the truck. Very, very lightweight. I doubt this thing will ever fall out of the window. So again, this wasn't like a full in-depth review. There are tons of really, really in-depth reviews and comparisons of this versus other dash cams all over YouTube. I'm not trying to compete with those. I simply asked on Instagram if some people were interested, so this is my high-level review of the Yi dash cam. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like what you saw, hit that subscribe button below. Lots more videos to come, and we'll see you on the next one.